Find your lost connections with past lives. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. This is the first
We're
episode of.
back.
We're back. This is the first episode of season 2. Holy shit. Holy shit, we did it.
Such a weird sensation I'm feeling.
I know. We're not rookies anymore. We're sophomores.
Podcasters,
I know.
sophomore podcasters.
We're like so seasoned now, y'all. You won't even believe it. So what are we covering today, Lindsay?
We are covering the 2023 Past Lives, directed by Celine Song.
This is a semi-autobiographical movie written and directed by Celine Song. And Past Lives is also her first movie. Can you believe that shit?
That's insane.
First one
What
out
a first
the gate.
movie.
I know. Ooh. Yeah, she started strong. I don't think she quite lived up to it with Materialist, but we'll get to that later.
I was just gonna say, interesting thoughts on Materialists.
Yeah. Anyway, we love this movie though.
Mhm.
Materialists,
Just
TBD.
count me out.
Lindsay's out. This movie stars Greta Lee as Nora, Tae Yoo as Haesung, and John Magaro as Nora's husband, Arthur. Can you scroll down?
Oh, yes.
You're on scrolling duty.
Scrolling duty! Oh, God.
In this movie, Nora, who as a child is known as Na-young, and Haesung are childhood sweethearts torn apart at 12 years old when Nora's family emigrates to Toronto from Korea. After 24 years, they reunite in New York City and spend time with her husband Arthur. An emotional love triangle takes place over Haesung's 2-day visit. So what's our history with this movie, Lindsay? We have like the cutest story that we've been dying to tell about this movie in particular and how it relates to what we do now on this show.
I can't remember if I've told this story like in full, maybe briefly, but
I don't
on the
think so.
podcast. Past Lives is the first movie that me and Marquita saw together at the Alamo.
This is our origin story.
Over 2 years ago.
Yeah. This is
our origin story movie.
Past lives to post-film clarity pipeline. This was the movie that brought us together and sent us on our current journey as film podcasters. We had so much to say and had so many big feelings about this movie and just how it relates to our lives and how much it relates even more to our lives 2 years later. Yeah.
Rewatching this movie, and I haven't seen it since when we watched it together. I was like, ooh.
Same. I've only watched it once in the theater with you. It was like a punch to the gut.
Yeah.
Rewatching this movie.
Like in so many different ways too.
Oh my God. Yeah. So tell the story of how.
Yeah.
Tell the story. Oh my God.
So, I was thinking exactly how I wanted to say it, but me, Marquita, and our friend Kate, we all went.
Kate count 1.
We all went on a beach trip together. We stayed on an island. And within that weekend, I realized that Marquita is a film girly, film buff. Biggest one I've ever met. And I think as soon as that got in my mind, it was like, okay, I'm just going to keep that on the back burner. And I can't remember how far after. It was probably like less than a month.
I think it was like a month or 2 after you. Yeah. So we had gone on that beach trip together. We had like barely known each other at the time.
Yeah,
it was like a very last minute spur of the moment invite that I had gotten because Lindsay had already rented an Airbnb and someone dropped out and Kate was like, do you want to come? I was like, yeah, I'll go camp on a private island on on the Outer Banks. Like, sign me up. So that was our Lindsay and I's like first time really hanging out. and we bonded instantly, and that was one of the best trips I've ever taken. Like
That trip
10 out
was
of 10.
amazing.
10 out of 10 girls trip. Loved it so much. Beautiful, beautiful Airbnb out on. Ooh, do you remember the name of the island?
Oh shoot. I do not. It was
I can find it.
Swansboro. Or it was in Swansboro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that was out in Swansboro, North Carolina. And we spent the whole weekend together. And we left the island being like, "Oh, I think we're gonna be besties. Like,
Yeah.
we're
Something
gonna
just
be."
happened here.
Did you feel it too? Did we just become best friends?
Did we just become best friends?
Yep.
Yeah,
And then
that was exactly.
and then out of the blue, like a month or two later, Lindsay texted me and she was like, "Hey, I've seen this movie trailer. Do you want to maybe see this with me when it comes out?" And she sent me the link to Past Lives, and I was like, "Bitch, I've been locked in on this trailer since like January. Yes, I want to fucking see it. Please. I would love to see this with you."
Yeah, 2023, that was the year.
That's when we like so Past Lives was the first one we saw together, and then we just locked in and like went on a generational run where we were at the movies like 3 days a week with each
It's
other
like,
for like 6, 7 months straight.
yeah. Instead of a killing spree, is a movie spree.
Why would you say it like that? Why would you
I don't
say
know.
that? Oh my god.
That's what it was like. It was honestly like we would just text each other and be like, I'm getting this ticket at this time and I'll get the one next to it. And we would go there like, yeah, sometimes 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah, literally every other day.
Mm-hmm.
We were there. So if you check out our Letterboxd list, we have every movie logged that we've ever watched together. So check that out on our Letterboxd at Post Film Clarity. But Past Lives was obviously number one. But after that, do you want to hear the run we went on for movies that we saw together? I'll read out like the first 10 or so.
Okay.
Okay. So we followed up Past Lives immediately with 2019 Little Women.
What?
Yeah.
I do not remember. Oh, wait.
That was like a
Okay,
week
that was
later
the movie party.
at Kate's house. Yeah. Then Joyride. Then Oppenheimer. I took you to see
Oh my
Oppenheimer
gosh.
before
That's
everybody else
right.
in IMAX.
Advanced seating.
An advanced screening.
Screening.
There you
Advanced
go.
Screening.
Then Theater Camp, which we both loved.
Mm-hmm. That was so good.
Then Spirited Away. That was only like the fifth. Yeah. Spirited Away. We saw that maybe like a month after Past Lives. Then Shiva Baby. And then Jurassic Park, girl, in 3D.
Wow, that's
and then
a stacked list.
I know. And then right after that was Bottoms, and then one of my favorite double features I've ever seen in my life, Ingrid Goes West and The Talented Mr. Ripley.
Yes. That
we
was
were locked
amazing.
in. We were in that theater for 6 hours.
And we just had such good food, just taking our little bathroom breaks. Yes. Oh, that was so fun.
That was, oh my God. Alamo was insane for that. That was a fucking amazing double feature. The double feature was, I knew it. I was so close. It was on the tip of my tongue. It was curated by Nia DaCosta. I remember now because she's one of the only like working Black female directors right now. And in 2023, she curated a whole program at the Alamo called Through the Looking Glass. And she's the one, remember? Yeah. And she's the one who programmed Ingrid Goes West and The Talented Mr. Ripley together, which was inspired, like chef's kiss. So yeah, that was our like that's like the first few months of our friendship and how we related to each other as like movie lovers, as like girls. Just that was like the first thing that Lindsay and I were doing as individuals outside of our main friend group, and that's how we like bonded. And that's like what all of those like 2 hour long parking lot discussions we would have after that early run of movies. That's how this podcast came to be. So yeah, thank you, Past Lives, for bringing us together.
Yeah, we owe so much to past lives.
But also ripping us apart. What the hell? Ugh. Oh my god. This movie.
Yeah, anyway. Rewatching this movie was truly an experience.
Oh boy. Yeah, speaking of which, what were some themes that you picked out on your first rewatch?
My first one, I put change just cuz, which means so many things, but Nora moving to a different country with different culture, marrying a white man. And I also said the vulnerabilities of love.
What do you mean by that?
I think
of like especially being in love?
Like, yeah, being vulnerable, like being in love and having to be vulnerable. I think maybe like more so for Arthur.
Yes. Oh my god, yeah. I see now. I was thinking of it from Nora's perspective. I was like, I don't feel she was super vulnerable until the end, of course, but when she had her big breakthrough. But yeah, poor Arthur. I do feel slightly guilty about my first read of this movie.
Yeah, I cannot remember.
We were so hard on Arthur. I remember hating his guts that first screening. I was like, you're in their way.
Yeah, it's honestly, that must like speak so much to our growth over these past 2 years, but I can't really remember what I thought of the first watch, just that I loved it, but now I'm like, poor Arthur.
Arthur deserves the fucking world, and Nora put him through hell.
Yes.
And that's on growth. What else did you have for themes? We have some overlapping ones, but I want you to go first.
I said different people, different places.
This is like that's like an arrow to the chest. You know how many times I've had experiences like that of like, oh, if it was like just a different time or a different place, like things could be different. Like, oh my god, that's like my whole dating history.
But I think it's so. I just want to get into it so much already.
I know. I'm sorry.
But I also so much to talk about. I said I also wanted to say like how much I love our themes, because I think growing up, whenever you'd have to say theme, you'd have to say like a single word, but we can just say sentences. Like a theme can be a sentence, okay?
A theme can be a paragraph if we say so.
Yeah. It can be whatever we want it to be. Because I have a lot to say.
Sometimes. I agree. Sometimes. I have a lot to say. Sometimes. Sometimes. Oh God,
when
love
I'm
you.
in the mood. I also said the divide, specifically the contrast of Haesung and Nora never meeting each other at the same place / level.
Yeah, that's yeah, it's just they're always kind of like ships in the night. Like it never lines up right for them at any point. The structure of the movie time-wise, I'll get into that later. But yeah, it's just missed connection after missed connection after missed connection for 36 years basically. It's so painful, but I think ultimately it ended the way it should have, but it's still like, again, this is on growth because we're so much more mature now. But do you look at the end now and think like, well, yeah, of course, like she did the right thing?
Yeah, I look at it as now, because I think I've had a lot of growth on my values, and now I look at it as Nora in a very secure relationship and marriage with Arthur. And like the ability that she could just express her sadness, not so much about her and Haesung not working out, but just like her truly having to say goodbye to like that idea or like that version of life that she could have had.
Yeah, exactly. I think again, Arthur is a king because
Yeah.
he let his wife just like sob on his shoulders about another man. I would be sick.
I am actually
I would
so
be fucking sick.
I am so curious like how much Arthur actually knew about the situation. Um
Yeah, that's a great, ooh, that's something we can ponder later. Like, how
yes.
much over the years do you think Nora even talked about Haesung? Because,
Yeah.
yeah, Arthur did seem a little blindsided by Haesung's appearance and like their
Yeah.
closeness when he showed up to New York in person. He was like, wait a minute, how close were you guys?
Mhm. Yeah.
Because it's not giving childhood friend.
Yeah, it's giving childhood lover.
Yeah, yeah.
What were some of your themes, Marquita?
So I had some similar ones to you. So we've already kind of discussed the broader ones. I also had what do you I didn't okay. You want to talk about out there themes. I don't even have it as a statement, it's a question. The first thing I wrote down after the movie ended was, what do you lose or gain when you leave home or the people who feel like home to you? Oh, just I just got goosebumps.
That
It's yeah.
Nora's mom, I wrote it down one of my favorite scenes, but when she talks about when you do leave, you also gain something.
Yes, I think that's what made me think of it more this time. I felt it was kind of like a throwaway line when she's like getting their passports together or whatever, or they're picking their new names or something, and she's just like, it seems like she's just like a mom doing errands, but she's really dropping like generational knowledge on these girls in that moment, and she's like, hey, you basically kind of prepping them like you're never going to be the same again. You're going to lose a lot when we leave Korea and you might never come back here, but you're also going to gain a lot. And I just thought that was such a beautiful way to articulate um kind of the push-pull of leaving somewhere that you're attached to and
Yeah.
somewhere that you love people. Um
Yeah. Not that I have moved like countries and continents, but now that I have moved a few hours away, it's like it's just taking an opportunity in life to like experience it to the fullest,
yeah.
but in the process, just the change of it all.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. I'm not much of a mover either. I didn't move until I was 33. Like move away from my home state, my home like from the Hudson Valley to North Carolina, and I did that sight unseen. um at 33 years old. I'd never even been here before. I just got in my car and drove, and I do feel I felt the same thing, like I was losing so much by leaving, especially when I left, and how I had to leave, just very abrupt during the pandemic. Couldn't even say goodbye to anybody because of social distancing, and I didn't want to get sick before I left. And but everything that I've gained since I've been here, it's like I don't even know what person I would be if I stayed where I was at that time. And I think at any age and at any distance, that's a really good lesson to learn and to a really good question to ask yourself. When it comes to emigrating or starting a whole start or just moving in general. But yeah, that was my main takeaway, my big question that weighs on me, and I forgot what else I was gonna say. Anyway, um and also the second, it's not even, again, it's not really a theme, but it's just the concept that they discuss throughout this movie of In-Yeon, which is the fate between two people, and how it and the connection that they have to their past lives. When people meet or even just brush against each other, or um are supposed to meet and never do. Just that concept of fate um and connection. I think Celine so beautifully articulated how like what it means to choose. I mean, it is a choice. It's an active choice, and I think through Nora's story, you see how much of a choice it is for her to make that connection with Arthur and to keep a connection with Haesung, and just what that does to her throughout the different phases of her life. I just think it's so interesting as a concept. Had you heard about In-Yeon before this movie?
Never. I I mean, I've heard a lot about fate, but definitely not the specific concept.
Yeah, same, me
I
neither.
and definitely like not how much the past life is really how like maybe not broad, but how vast it can be.
Mm-hmm.
Like a past life being a branch and a bird. I loved that one. That was my
Beautiful.
favorite. And just, I guess, giving life to much more outside of just human.
Yes, yeah, it's like that's such a good way to put it. It's all of like living living creatures and
Hmm.
any kind of connection. It doesn't just mean romantic. I just think it's really beautiful, and it definitely made me want to learn more about it after we saw that movie. Also, I'm sure you remember because we watched this trailer like a million times before the movie came out, but this whole discussion about In-Yeon is in the trailer. And it like, do you remember that?
No, I'll have to watch the trailer again.
Oh, the trailer's amazing. Actually, I should drop it. I'll drop it in the show notes. But the trailer, I think it's one of the first lines that Nora says is like, she explains the concept of In-Yeon and the connection, and then you see like that she had that with Haesung when she was little, and then you see that she has it with Arthur now that she's
Yeah.
grown up, and it's just
I, when I was just thinking about everything, because especially, I guess the root of like past lives being how all of our atoms, or like all of the atoms in the earth never go anywhere and they're just
Mhm.
recycled over and over again. And kind of Nora saying goodbye to her past lives being in Seoul, because now that she was in Toronto, her atoms are just going to be recycled there. So it's not
Yeah.
only like saying goodbye to Seoul, but also her past life being with Haesung.
Yeah. And then also, that's such a good point. And then also, she has to go through that process again because she leaves Toronto to go to New
Yeah,
York. So she does this twice. Um, and you get to see her. You don't really see her in Toronto, but you see her after she's left Toronto. But yeah, the fact that she had to kind of learn how to be just a person, a Korean person, then learn how to be a Canadian person, then learn again, how to be American or some concept of American. Um, and I think she says it in the movie that she felt when she's around Haesung at 36 that she felt so much less Korean than him, but also so much more Korean at the same time. But someone who maintained that connection to their home and their culture throughout their entire lives. It's just an interesting way of looking at how connections can change you and change the trajectory of your life. So what else did this bring up for you on your rewatch?
I definitely want to mention like the literal concept of Nora and Haesung being on different levels, like the specific camera shots. The first dinner scene, the big dinner scene where they're all at
Mhm.
the bar. And any time when it's Nora and Haesung, Nora is shot like upwards. And then it transitions to Haesung and he's shot down.
I love that. I didn't even catch that. So, what does that mean for you?
It kind of just shows Nora's power over Haesung
Mhm.
and just like the dynamic between her and Arthur. Just like, both these men being infatuated with her and she can do and say whatever she wants.
And if we're being real, inferior to her.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
that camera angle is a good way to portray that inferiority and her authority
Hmm.
visually. That's a great pull. That's
Yeah.
something Nicole from Night School Bar would be very proud of you.
It happens again in the very beginning when Haesung gets all upset with Nora when he finds out that she's leaving.
Hmm.
And on the when they both take the different way home, it's the divide. And Haesung is lower and Nora is going uphill.
Yeah, she's going up the stairs. He's going like kind of flat.
Yep.
That is, wow. You're really on one right now. That is, again, like a perfect visual representation of like where their lives are going to take them, because their
Yes.
lives are not only taking them in separate directions. You're right. They're taking them to one's ascending and one's kind of just staying flat.
Yeah, like
Haesung never leaves his parents' house. He's been in Korea this whole time, and Nora has been to two major cities, learned, at least one other language, if not more, and um oh, and is writing plays, and she's like achieving her dreams. I think Nora's ambition is portrayed really well in this movie. I'll get into that a little bit more later, but you're pointing out the like visual representation of
yeah.
her ambition and power in the
Her
world versus
nobody's ever going to be on her level.
period period as it should be. But yeah, and also, but how kind of like disappointing that can be.
Yeah.
Um Personally speaking, it's disappointing and it's lonely, frankly, sometimes when you realize that like you're not you're not finding you're not finding partners who are where you're at in life, or who are ambitious enough to try to be where you're at, or on the flip side, partners who push your ambition even further, who aren't playing catch up. That I just think there's something in Celine's writing that felt very, very personal to her,
Hmm.
and I love that she revealed that and put that in the movie, because that was definitely one of the more relatable parts of Nora's character to me.
I want to ask you a question. It's a little saucy,
Okay,
but
go
do
for
you
it.
think that Nora likes the power dynamic? Because when I was thinking over things, the dinner scene
Mm-hmm.
where the couple is like, who do you think they are?
Mm-hmm.
And then it ends with Nora looking at us and smiling, which, do you remember that part?
No, wait. You're talking about the opening scene? That is so funny you bring that up, because the first standout scene I wrote down is that awkward opening at the bar, at that meal, that drink that Nora and Arthur and
Hmm.
Haesung are sharing together. Um so what were you saying about the people talking about her? She smiles at them?
What is the, she wasn't smiling at them. It was like, is the saying like breaking the fourth wall or something? Where
Uh-huh.
you directly are like referring to the audience, like us, me and you as viewers of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, she has that cheeky grin. And it makes me like, do you like this? Because I guess like the power that she has over these two men.
Uh-huh. I
Because I
hadn't
mean,
even pictured it. I hadn't even considered it. I want to go back and see that now. I wonder if maybe she's looking at the camera, and who's behind the camera is supposed to be those people talking at the bar about
mhm,
them,
yeah,
and she's
maybe.
smiling at them. Or she is breaking the fourth wall and is looking at us like, well, what do you think is going on? And like kind of being like, I've got these two guys like drooling over me. Um,
Yeah,
oh,
because
that's a
even
really good
in
question. I don't know.
the dinner conversation, Nora is never like inferior to the men. They're always like, oh, well, maybe they're siblings, maybe they're married, maybe Arthur's just a friend. It's never like the other way around.
Yeah.
She's just emitting so much power.
It's like, who are they to her?
Yes.
She's
Yeah.
like yeah, she is this Nora, and this, oh my God, maybe, well, no, maybe I'm not gonna bring this up now because it's challengers coded, but like the
Yes.
way that like in in both of those stories, the female character is very ambitious, like
Mm-hmm.
Tashi in Challengers and Nora in Past Lives, and how the two boys that are like obsessed with her, she is the center of both of their worlds. One is married to her, and the other is just like some guy from a million years ago. Very similar story and dynamic we'll get into
Yeah,
later.
they're like so different, but in that way, so similar.
Yeah,
And when
they
we'll
are
get into
sibling movies.
yes, the drama later.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's lines right
Challengers,
up. Mm-hmm.
written by Celine Song's husband. um, and we'll get into that later.
Oh my gosh. If anyone
Woof.
like
To be a
uh
fly on the wall of
yeah,
their apartment.
if anyone is experiencing this connection right now from our podcast, must be nice to be you right now. Because what a mind blow.
I know. I just like casually dropped this lore on Lindsay one day because she was like, "Oh, I finally watched Challengers." I was like, "Oh, great. Yeah, now you can talk about it on the Past Lives episode." And she's like, "Why?" I'm like, that's her husband." Yeah, that's her husband. And they were writing those at the same time. I'm like, what was going on in your house? I want to know everything. Um, but yeah,
What
that was that bar scene. It's like one of
yeah.
the. It's a great movie opening. It immediately makes you curious about the three of them, especially if you hadn't seen the trailer for months leading up to it, like we had, because it kind of the people at the bar are the audience proxy. They're saying what you're thinking
Yeah.
as a viewer. Who are these people? How are they all related? Why are they sitting together? Is she
Mm-hmm.
with the Asian guy or is she with the white guy? Do they know each other? Are they strangers? Like, who's the couple? If there's a couple, like, it's such like a titillating setup to open a movie that way. I love that scene. What was the first like standout scene for you?
Definitely Haesung and Nora's first date when they were little at the park. The statue that was separated by the tree. That was
Killed me.
beautiful. And now that I think of it, the only time where they were equal
When they were eye to eye with each other, when they
at
were
the
on the
park,
same level.
just being kids on a little date.
Wow. That is oh my God, this movie kills me. Um I'm like, yeah, that's like really interesting.
Yeah.
Like
And
choking back tears.
this was also the conversation that Haesung and Nora's moms were having together. Um, basically, when she said, "When you leave something behind, you also gain something."
That's when she said it. Okay, okay. I was thinking she said that line when the girls were picking out their new like American names, but you're right. It is during that scene when she's talking to Haesung's mother about why they want to like leave Korea and start
Yeah.
over. Yeah, good call, good pull.
Do you remember on the airplane when the Michelle and Nora they're studying English and they were just introducing each
Nora's
other like,
little sister.
I'm fine, and you? I'm
I'm
fine,
fine,
and
and
you?
you?
That was so cute.
I'm fine, and you? Yeah, that is like, oh, yeah. I bet learning English is fucking hard. I've heard it's one of the hardest languages to learn because it doesn't make sense. And
Hmm.
I agree, even as a native speaker, because I was also raised bilingual, and I think English is um, much harder than other language. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Bilingual English and what?
Spanish.
Oh,
Um, Yeah, my mother raised me speaking Spanish and then gaslit me into not speaking it anymore when I was like 8. So she yeah, I grew up actually I knew French when I was a kid as well. So actually I was trilingual. I was speaking English, French, and Spanish
Oh my gosh.
until I was like 8, probably about 3rd grade or so, and then I just lost it all. Never really gained it back. So I don't really like to say that I'm not fluent in any other language. You know what I mean? I know some bits of other languages from when I was a kid, and I think English is the most like unnatural is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, it was just like a funny way to like to show like what it was probably like for people coming over to this country and like trying to learn English for the first time and how silly it must sound to them. It's very cute, very playful. One of the few
Yeah.
like playful, like lighthearted moments we get in this movie.
One of very few.
Yeah.
What were some more of your favorite scenes?
So I think the next big one that I was like oh my god, I was like a puddle for this is that Nora and Haesung's first Skype conversation after 12 years of no contact when she realizes that he's been trying to look for her on Facebook and couldn't find her because she changed her name. And they finally reconnect and they're 24 years old and she had just moved to New York. Oh my god, that scene. First of all, I don't know if you ever used Skype. Um, Probably not because you're
Yeah, I used it once or twice.
okay. That call sound is so nostalgic.
And
That's
I've
like
also watched so much Catfish that
okay, you
I know
know
that
it from
sound well.
Catfish. That is fucking bleak. You're like, yeah, I know the Skype sound from Catfish. I'm like, oh Jesus
Catfish, the
Christ,
MTV show Catfish.
Gen
I know
Z,
it.
y'all are cooked. Oh yeah, from Zeb Schulman, whatever his name is.
Neve Schulman.
Yeah, whatever. I don't watch that shit.
I loved Catfish.
Oh my god, that is fucking Lindsay. Anyway, hearing that Skype sound, that dial for the first time in god, probably what, like 10 years or something. Skype doesn't even exist anymore. So, however long ago Skype was really like popular, hearing that just automatically like gave me like butterflies. And then watching them talk to each other for the first time in 12 years and like just remarking upon how they looked and how like what their lives are like and just catching up after that long, it's like so earth-shattering, but at the same time it must have been so I think Greta Lee is just lights out in that scene.
Phenomenal.
She's fucking phenomenal. Her trying to remember her Korean while also, seeing this boy she used to have a crush on when she was 12 years old that she hasn't seen since and catching up. I love moments like that, and I think that's why it was like I think it's probably one of my favorite scenes. It's just like I said, it just gives me butterflies. Like that feeling of reconnecting with someone after a really, really, really long time and pointing out each other's differences, but then also realizing like how how little you've changed as well, You're still yourself.
I think also to like touch back on the past lives concept, there's some people that you meet that you just always have that chemistry with, and no matter what happens, you can go so long without speaking to them, and it's just like your energies are just linked.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes. They do such a good job as actors conveying that feeling
yeah.
of like, I know I haven't seen you in forever, but at the same, I think he says, I mean, it's been a long time, but it also feels like yesterday. Oh my god. Yeah, Haesung is down bad during this sequence. Like,
Oh my god.
oh man, I forgot how long, like how much of the movie is just them like basically falling in love on Skype and then realizing like, oh, we're not actually going to be together. you're not leaving Korea and I'm not leaving New York. So what are we doing? Like
Yeah.
I felt, again, I know it was for the right reason, and Nora did the right thing. She's got a good head on her shoulders, but I think the end of that whole like Skype sequence and them reconnecting as adults and her finally putting her foot down and saying like, I'm not connecting with anybody here because I'm spending all my time on Skype with you and emailing you. I can't keep doing this. I need to build a life in New York, I think is how she puts it. That was so painful, but so mature as like
Yeah,
a
at like
24-year-old.
24-year-old, yeah.
Whew, bitch, I could never. I could never be me. I'd be like, come to New York. I'll get you a green card.
When are you coming here?
Oh my God. What were you going to say?
I really think Haesung would have tried to string it along as long as possible.
Me too. He wasn't, yeah, I think it wasn't that he was fine with the arrangement with the like Skype girlfriend basically.
Yeah.
But I do feel like he was more like comfortable and like became complacent with that dynamic of just Nora sitting on a laptop waiting for him and him doing absolutely nothing to like him making no effort to take it to the next level. Levels again. He stays flat and Nora ascends.
And up until they meet, it's kind of crazy, I guess, how much she stayed on his mind.
Yeah.
Like, he truly used up all his vacation to come to New York with shitty weather and then get to, like, see her for 2 days.
2 days. This whole movie the whole modern storyline takes place over 2 days.
Yeah.
And so much happens in those 2 days, just like emotionally. I love how this movie really is very intimate and it like takes its time with you.
Yeah.
Like you feel like it's only an hour and 45 minutes.
I know. I was watching, I was like, I can't believe this is such a short movie.
It's so short, but it's so rich, you know, and engulfing. It feels like you've spent so much time with these people and you care about them all so much, but this is less than 2 hours. Like this is literally half the runtime of a of an Avengers movie. Like half. And like the emotional depth is crazy. Like what she was able to achieve as a writer and as a director. Just bravo. Brava.
This is maybe a little silly, but the transition of ending things with Haesung and then immediately meeting Arthur. I am a firm believer that after a breakup, both sides have to have a rebound.
Rebound.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about this scene, actually. I don't think it was on either of our lists as like our favorite scene. But how do you feel about the writer's retreat right after she ends the Skype relationship with Haesung? Do you feel, I felt on a rewatch that it wasn't quite as like reboundy as I remember, but it does still kind of scream rebound to me. What do you think? Or do you feel like she actually was like falling for him?
I think she was definitely falling for him, but how can you not go to like a writer's retreat, beautiful views? I mean, how can you not fall in love? Yeah. I think it was just a perfect situation that's real. I mean, developed into what it did.
I love the little connection to right before she stopped. I think this is a Letterboxd review. I don't know if you've seen this one, but this shit had me cackling. There's a really popular Letterboxd review for this movie that said something like, Nora is an emotional terrorist for having a Skype relationship with Haesung for this long, and then one of the last things she says to him before she dumps him is, hey, you should watch Eternal Sunshine. She is a fucking demon for that. The emotional damage that she inflicted upon Hey, yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen this movie, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Yeah, I'm staying out at Montauk, where I'm gonna fall in love with another person who's not you. Yeah, you should watch that movie. Oh my
Crazy.
god, she had him sick, I'm sure. I love that movie too, but it's a hard watch.
I this might change how you feel about me, but I'm not the biggest lover of that movie.
Wow, that is a little surprising. I feel like that would be right up your alley because it's like peak, early 2000s sad girl shit.
Yeah, no, I think it's
What is it about it that doesn't connect for you?
I haven't seen it in a really long time, but
How many times have you seen it?
I watched it quite a bit when I was younger.
Okay.
I haven't seen it as an adult though, but every time I think it's just so obvious that it's like not glorifying mental illness, but
The manic pixie
yeah.
dream. Yeah.
And maybe just trying a little too hard to be messed up.
I could see
know.
that. The director is very French and very like emotional and like especially at that age. I'm pretty sure he was like in his 20s or 30s at the time. Like very yeah, I could see that, I guess. It's quite melodramatic, but I think it feels so I don't know. That movie had such an impact on me. I can't even really be like, you know, uh what's the word? Not rational. I can't even really be objective about it. Um, I saw that movie when I was 16 years old, and it,
Yep.
oh man, that hit me square in the chest. I was like, oh my God, falling in love seems like a fucking hellscape. What do you mean? That seems horrible, but also beautiful because, spoiler for 21-year-old movie, they get back together anyway, even after they erased each other's memories. Speaking of fate, that whole movie is about fate.
Yeah, that's a good recommendation. So what did you think about Haesung's visit to New York?
So, I think, leaving him with Eternal Sunshine as like one of their last memories is fucking, like I said, diabolical. But then him getting to see New York like in real life for the first time, like you could tell he was like a little kid, he was so kind of like excited and he had his little backpack and he's like ready to be a tourist and she's so like welcoming and open and wanting to bring him to all the, like classic New York landmarks. I just love that whole sequence. It's very it does the whole like, this is in like thousands of movies. It does the whole New York quote unquote New York as a character thing very, very well. And I've been to like a lot of those places and a lot of those neighborhoods that are in this movie and it felt it just felt like how it probably felt for Haesung to be there, like so new and exciting. I love that scene, that whole sequence of like his first train ride when they're like staring into oh my God, Lindsay, when they're staring into
Honestly,
each other's eyes on that fucking train. Oh my God, the smoldering, the yearning off the charts, and their fingers like graze. Oh, bitch.
yeah, just barely touching. Oh, just kill me.
She is staring so deeply into his eyes.
Yeah, I was like,
They're
why
like,
are you like that? That is not okay. You can't just stare at someone like that.
girl in public
Fully married.
with a man, a whole man at home. Nora, kind of a villain.
Yeah, I'm glad you think so because she was
just a touch. Yes, I
kind
do.
of, yeah.
And I didn't the first time. First time I was completely on her side. I was so anti-Arthur. Remember one of the first things I said to you after, I don't even know if the credits had stopped rolling yet, and I looked over at you and I was like, oh my God, he was so fucking whiny and annoying the whole time. Like, what is his problem? And now 2.5 years later, I'm like, oh, I know exactly what his problem is. What the fuck? Of course.
Nora's a little bit of an instigator.
Yeah. How do you not have a problem with that? Are you kidding me? I would be That would be my last week on Earth, I'll tell you what.
I saw a lot of hate towards Arthur. And
yes, I
let
was a
me
part
just
of that,
say,
unfortunately.
yeah, and me too. But let me just say, if you hate Arthur, you've got some stuff you need to break down. Because Arthur's just...
You're the problem.
Yeah. Like,
that man did
I
nothing
saw
wrong.
a lot of people comparing the masculinity of Haesung versus Arthur, and I was like, ew.
Oh,
like,
well,
you need to check yourself.
Exactly. Well, that leads me into one of my other points about that first day in New York scene. At the end of that day when she goes home, to Arthur and he's like, "How was it?" Like, trying to get all the information out of Nora. And this must have been like such a kick in the nuts to this poor guy. She's like, "Oh, he's so masculine." I was like, Nora, please.
Like, you could have said anything else.
He's so masculine. He's so Korean, knowing damn well that Arthur is trying to learn Korean because he wants to. That scene is so cute. It's not in here, but when he's like, I just want to know what you're saying when you talk in your sleep.
That scene.
Because I love you so
much. That's also one of my favorite scenes. Because Arthur
explain the scene.
Loves her.
He loves Nora.
Also, what an interesting concept of dreaming in your native language.
Yes. And I've talked to a lot of my like ESL friends about that, and they're like, yeah, I think in my native language, or I'm assuming, I dream in my native language too sometimes. They say it kind of like switches on and off, but yeah, that they mostly dream in whatever their native language was. And I was like, oh, that is fascinating. I hadn't even considered that. But the fact that Arthur is like, he's like, I know I'm like, just like a whatever, like white guy, but I'm really trying here. Like, I want to learn Korean so that I can.
He like wants to fully know every part of her and every like bit of life that she's experiencing.
Exactly. And she comes home
just
and
gives
she's
me
like,
chills.
Right? May that love attack me.
Yes, absolutely. The scene where they're like, I want to get fried chicken, and Arthur is just like Superman posing on
just like
Nora.
Wrapped around her.
Yes.
Like, oh
please
my God.
Let that love find me.
Find me, please. Let's put it into the fucking universe. But like having that and then having the nerve to go on like basically a 2-day date with your ex from 24 years ago, and then coming home and being like, he's so manly and Korean. Nora, please.
Count your days, Nora.
Count your fucking days, bitch. She was playing in that man's face.
Yeah, what's that? He's a good man.
He's a good man, Savannah.
He's a good man, Savannah.
She's a demon. Oh my God, she's so foul for that. Yeah. So if I was Arthur during that scene, oh my God. Oh my God, my empathy was on like 10,000 for him. And I felt like none of that the first time. It's so wild how much I swung in the opposite direction on this rewatch. I was like, why the fuck would she do that or say that to him? And the first time I was like, yeah, Arthur, get out of here, you loser. She doesn't even like you. She should be with Haesung.
Yeah, I loved how comfortable Arthur was bringing up how he was insecure about everything, and like just how vulnerable he was being. He was like, well, I'm this white Jewish guy that like, you are my life. Like, how does that compare? And
she's like, that's nice.
Yeah, it's
oh my God, justice for Arthur. But yeah, I love the first 3 questions he asks her too when she gets home from the day with Haesung. And it's basically, I'm paraphrasing, but he's basically like, 1, is he hot? 2, are you attracted to him? And 3, when does that motherfucker leave?
Yeah,
when does he go
Arthur.
the fuck home? Because I can't do this with you. He was asking the right questions.
Mm-hmm.
And what about you? Is there any standout scenes that we haven't talked about yet?
Yeah, so the walk that Nora and Haesung take to his Uber, uh, first and foremost, I didn't notice this the first time around, but when they were walking and Haesung's suitcase was in his left hand, and then when they started walking, he like so smoothly moved it to his right hand, so they were like walking hand in hand beside each other.
Oh,
I wonder so much, like, if that Uber ride or the wait time for the Uber had been anything more than 2 minutes, like, what would have happened?
me too. I love that scene too. I had it as one of my favorites as well. It's all shot in like real time, you know? Like it's like you said, it's like a 2-minute walk. Well, he says it out loud in the movie, right? Like,
Yeah,
"Oh, my Uber's
the
coming in
Uber's too.
3 minutes
Yeah,
or whatever." And then you watch for the next 3 minutes them like walk down the street, stand there, have this like gut-wrenching heart to heart where
and
he's
they barely
basically
said anything.
well, no, but he does
Almost.
say something so important there where he's
Hmm.
like, "In which past life do you think that we're together?" Ah!
So at the very end of the movie, Hae-sung says, "What if this is a past life as well, and we're already something else to each other in our next life? Who do you think we are then?"
Shambles. Put me under the movie theater. I was stunned silent for like 5-10 minutes straight after he asked that question. It's such a beautiful question to ask, and there's like tears in his eyes when he asks it, and you know she's thinking the same thing. She's just not saying it. She's being much more like stoic and trying to be practical.
Like, yeah, she's been the entire time.
Right. But when he asks her that, you can just see her break. And I mean, who wouldn't? And that whole walk back, she's just sobbing.
Yeah.
She puts him in the Uber and just walks away for the third time from someone that, she obviously loves on some level and cares about deeply. And goes back to Arthur and just like collapses in his arms.
Yeah. And he picks her up.
Yeah. What a fucking man. He really she put him through hell.
I love that he kind of feels like, in comparison to her, he has nothing to offer, but like he truly like married her so she could get her green card, and like he's really there to pick her up and happy to do so.
That's such a good point. The whole reason they even got married was was so that she could stay in New York and be a writer. He wanted her to fulfill her dreams. He wanted her to have the life that she wanted, not whatever his concept of her was. And I do think that's where I knock Hae-sung a little bit. I do think he has a very like kind of childlike slash adolescent look of at Nora. He kind of puts her on the pedestal as like his quote unquote dream girl, even though they haven't hung out in person in 24 years
Yeah.
and he doesn't really know her anymore. But he knows like I don't know. I feel like he objectifies her. Not necessarily in like a gross chauvinistic way, but definitely kind of in a quote unquote nice guy way, where he's like, well, I don't know. It's
I
complicated.
think he had expectations for how his trip was going to go, and I think he so badly wanted to end up with Nora.
Mm-hmm. Like knowing damn well that she's with someone else and immigration wise, even if she wanted to leave him, where how's that gonna work? She can't go back. Um, yeah, it was I think on this viewing, I was definitely looking at him. I was giving him a little more side eye this
Yeah.
time. Like he was definitely, Nora's like kind of like fuckboy side piece, if I may be so crude. obviously it's more like deep than that, like emotionally speaking, but he's definitely Haesung is definitely giving side piece.
Yeah. And I mean, I completely understand it because if I saw my long ago childhood lover that transforms into this beautiful, intelligent woman, I probably would create a whole fantasy about her too. If we're being so real.
You're so real for that. Who amongst us?
Like also the scene of them first seeing each other in person, because with Skype, I mean, it's just not the same. And when they saw each other from that fountain, and she was just like in that
Wow.
effortless, beautiful, like
Whoa.
button-up shirt. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. That is also in the trailer. That scene when they walk up to each other for the first time. Oh my God. Yeah, she's just so lovely and like chic and
lovely.
Oh my God. Baddie. Dream girl for real. I get it. But he did try to like manic pixie her a little bit and she wasn't having it. So good for her. So this leads us right into our favorite performances. And because there's basically only 3 people in this movie and there's only 2 of us, it was a pretty easy pick.
Yeah.
Mine, I'm gonna go first. Mine was Greta Lee. I think she is I cannot believe, and I know awards don't mean shit really, and it's always like a campaigning contest and like a studio backed like popularity contest, but the fact that Greta Lee did not even get nominated for this performance was so shocking to me. And I remember us reading the announcements and being so shocked to not see her name there. 2023 was a really hard year though. That was the Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, like there was just a lot there was a lot of other stuff to contend with that year.
Poor Things can kiss my big toe.
Fuck Poor Things. All my homies hate Poor Things. Yeah, we are not Poor Things fans in this house on this podcast.
No.
But I feel like Emma Stone, I won't even say her directly. I don't want to be mean. But you know who really took Greta Lee's spot for nominees that year is, and I love her, but this is insane, Jodie Foster for Naiad.
That's
crazy. Yeah. Crazy. No one even saw that movie.
I haven't. This is the first time hearing about it.
It was a sports biopic about a swimmer. I don't remember where she was from. I think she's British, maybe. She could be American. I'm not positive. Anyway, Jodie Foster in like a inspirational like sports biopic movie. She got the nomination over Greta Lee, and I just remember being like so surprised by that because I just thought, like, from a cultural standpoint, from the fact that she had to speak 2 languages in every scene, the fact that she's in every scene of this movie carried it on her back. I just think she deserves way more lead roles and a way bigger career. Because I think leading up to this movie, most people knew Greta Lee as like the best friend on the Netflix show Russian Doll.
Oh wow.
Sweet birthday baby. I think she's been like a really great like character actress on like TV, especially. She right after this was on Apple TV Plus's The Morning Show, where she plays like a TV executive and like a giant, celebrity ensemble cast. I don't want her to become like an ensemble character actress. I think Greta Lee deserves the same shots. More screen time. Emma Stone and Margot Robbie and her other contemporaries. I just think she's right there with them, and she's just not, I don't know if she's not getting the parts or they're not being offered to her, or, it's because she's not a white woman that,
That's what it is.
Lindsay's like, girl, you already know it's the racism. I'm like, well, maybe it's not this time.
There's no denying it, especially for like the year that movie came out, and yeah, like the cultural significance of it.
It was,
and for it to not be like even considered as wild.
It was all people were talking about for like a couple months there. Like, especially not even just cinephiles. I felt like that spilled over into like, civilian culture as well as civilian into normie culture as well. Like, I feel like in our neck of the woods, at least, I felt like that was a big footprint, and like a huge impact. But I don't know. I don't know if it got nominated for anything besides writing, maybe.
It's woman focused, but she's not a white woman. And then the one white guy that is in there is a softie.
Yeah.
So like we unfortunately are living in different universes.
I think we are. I think you're right. We are in like a soft boy, like ambitious woman bubble. That's where we belong. Speaking of soft boys, who was your pick for favorite performance?
My favorite performance was John Magaro. And I've erased
Justice for Arthur!
Yes, I've erased my memory of how I felt about him the first time I watched it, but this time around, justice for Arthur.
Yeah.
He truly, I think anyone else that she would have been married to would not have given her as much grace. But like in a respectful way, like you're an individual experiencing life. And if you want to go hang out with your childhood lover, fine. But when is he leaving?
Stand on business, Arthur. Like, and, yeah, this is cute and all, but
yeah,
when he getting the fuck out of here?
For him to let her spend
2 days?
2 days, all day with him is like, you rock. And then, yeah, for him to just like bring up how he's feeling, it was so beautiful.
Yeah, and still, like, he comes, you're right, he's very, like, he's so well-rounded, though, because he does come off initially as, like, kind of, like, whiny soft boy, but he's also so fucking strong. And I think that gets very overlooked because he's not, quote-unquote, masculine or manly in the same kind of traditional way that Haesung is, or in the like imaginary way in which American men are taught to be masculine or manly. But I think Arthur, the way John Magaro plays him is so fascinating because he, like I said, it's like that duality. He's soft and strong.
Yeah.
He's like sensitive artist boy, but also like knew when to like put his foot down a little bit and be like, yo, listen, you got to get over this. This is weird. Like,
yeah,
we're married. Are you going somewhere or not?
And I think like society is just too early in what a healthy, secure marriage should actually look like. And when people are kind of like bagging Arthur, it's just like very telling. Like you've got a lot of work to do. Yeah. Because Arthur is doing what he needs to do for himself. And also just being really considerate.
Really considerate and really, really like secure. Yeah, I think you brought it up earlier. You described their relationship as secure. And that's exactly what it is.
I love their marriage. I love the dynamic of the man being much, much more in love with the woman. Mm-hmm. But also again, the fact
challengers
that
coded.
Yes. That he just knew to be waiting on the stairs for her because she was going to be going through it.
And he just held her. He's like, all right, you ready to go back inside now? You ready? I'm still here. You're still here. That motherfucker is out of my apartment. I'm kidding. He should have been a lot more angry, but he's a better man than I will ever be because I would be crashing out.
So it was nominated for 2 Oscars for Best Picture and for Best Original Screenplay.
Okay, so it got Best Picture and Screenplay. Nothing for acting. Yeah. What can you tell us about Celine Song and her husband, Justin? Oh, I don't know how to say it either. I think it's Kuritsky. Yes.
Justin Kritzky's.
Okay. So yeah, the Challengers connection. What did you learn in your research about Celine Song and Justin Kuritsky's relationship?
Looking up stuff about Challengers, I guess a lot of people think that it's about like Serena Williams or just different tennis players, but knowing about Celine Song, this much so just seems like the narrative and perspective that Justin had being like the other man with Celine, because Past Lives is a semi-depiction of Celine's own life.
Yes.
And Justin being who Arthur would have been. So then in Challengers, 2 men fighting over one girl. Justin comes out with Challengers, which is just like 2 men ruining their lives and fighting over a woman.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was what, a year later?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe even less than a year later. They came out very close together, these movies. So Celine was
like
working...
they were going to bed at night knowing that they were just...
making like, movies about each other.
Yeah. But in Challengers being such a, I guess, interesting cover for wanting to let out your frustrations about your wife.
Because I think that, yeah, so it's funny seeing like Celine's kind of self-insert character being like we said earlier, ambitious and very practical, and kind of like how hard that is as a woman, especially to be that way in a relationship, especially when you're with someone who is successful but not as like, I want to win a Pulitzer, I have to be like #1, the best writer. He seems a lot more grounded with his ambition, if he has any at all. But I think Celine's approach to her self-insert character is very different than Justin's perception of of the wife character in that dynamic.
There's definitely, you know, similarities, I guess, in their ambition, but personality-wise...
Whoa. Tashi Duncan is...
Tashi's cutthroat businesswoman.
She's on such another level. She's so ruthless and mean and just stepping on necks for the whole runtime of Challengers. Just does not give a flying fuck, really, about either of these guys. Like, there's parts of her that I think love and care about both of them, but she says it herself. Like, I don't love and care about anything as much as I do about winning and good tennis. And that's like my main, like, the way Justin wrote her as just like this lean, mean, like, winning machine who doesn't really give a fuck about anyone or anything else. I thought that was very telling. I was like, damn, Celine, fight back.
Yeah. Comparing it to that intro scene of her breaking the fourth wall and staring at us, smiling, like, yeah, I've got both these men wrapped around my finger.
Yeah. Fascinating. I can't believe they stayed together after this, honestly. Like, if he...
like, after the release of both of these movies?
Yeah, bitch. What do you think those, like, family dinners were like during this process?
It's like, how was your day? Oh, you know, just talking shit about you all day. Writing you up to be a nasty character.
Yeah, making you seem like the nastiest bitch from hell. What about you? Oh, I'm just making you seem like the pussiest crybaby cuck in the world. like the hyper exaggeration of both of
Yes.
their like real character traits. I mean, I don't know much about Justin, but through these two movies, I feel like I do. I feel like Justin is obviously the Arthur. Is it what's his name in Challengers? Art. Oh my god, it is Arthur.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Wait,
oh my
really?
god, I think it is. Fact check me, but I think it's Arthur in both movies, and that's. I feel like
Well,
that's
which
the.
one would Justin be? Would Justin be yep,
He's
Art and Patrick.
yeah. He's definitely Art. He is not
Dang.
Patrick.
Oh my gosh. Arthur.
Oh,
Story wrote itself.
yikes. And yeah, Patrick again being that guy from like college that she hasn't seen since, who is like the manly,
Just
rugged
undeniable
one,
chemistry.
chemistry for days, very like um kind of sweep you off your feet kind of
But
guy,
also
and
kind of a loser.
kind of a loser.
Kind of like Haesung.
Exactly. Still living with his parents,
Yep.
allegedly, like living in his car. The similarities be similaritying. Yeah, these guys, I think Haesung and Arthur, or sorry, Haesung and Patrick are like uh counterparts, and then of course Nora and Tashi, and then Arthur and Art are the
I
Justin
think
character.
like both Haesung and Patrick, they have the potential for so much more.
And like actively choose to like not.
The easier route.
Yes,
Yeah.
always the past. I think Tashi brings it up in a not so kind way when she probably right after she spits in his face. Either right before or right after she spits in his face, she says something to Patrick about how he basically chooses to be a loser, and how like unattractive she finds that lack of focus and ambition. I just think, wow, making these movies about each other this close together and kind of publicly. Did you find any like interviews where they were like talking about each other publicly, or did they kind of shy away from that? Because like I
No,
would
I
not want
mean,
to answer questions about like
yeah.
my wife or husband during this press tour. I'd be like, no, it's
Looking
fiction.
looking it up and not really getting anything having to do with the connection to Celine or to past lives, it makes me feel like they just did, or Justin did his good work making sure that,
Just
like,
shutting the fuck up.
yeah. Like, no, this is a tennis movie. Tennis
Yeah,
movie,
nope.
full
Just a sports
100%.
movie.
Nothing to do with my personal life at all.
Nope. Nope. Why do you ask? Very well
Past
played.
lives, haven't heard of her. What's
I
that?
don't know her. To quote Mariah Carey. Yeah, I just love that pop culture moment, and I love that that was a complete surprise to you. I don't think a lot of I wonder in the zeitgeist if that was like a known quantity at the time. I feel like I knew right away that that was an issue, because I was like, oh shit, we're getting another like hot people love triangle movie, and then someone was like, oh yeah, that they're her husband wrote that. I was like, oh, oh,
That's crazy. But I'm also curious, like maybe it's, I mean, they're both writers, so we can really take what we want from it. But
yeah,
like
yeah, maybe it means nothing at all, you know, or
like they could have been in cahoots this whole time, because they just know it's gonna sell.
yeah, that's marketing, baby.
Marketing.
That's how you get butts in seats. That's how you get tickets ticking. Um, yeah, I wonder. I just have it just opened up like such a can of worms after I found that out, and I'm so nosy. I really want to know what their actual relationship is like, because there's so much overlap of the female characters and the male characters that I'm like, this has to be the same story, or like composites of the same people in both
Mm-hmm.
of y'all's lives. And you're just like
There's
coming
a
about it in
lot
very,
of overlap.
the way the final products came out in such distinctly different ways. Like Celine's is very like intimate, quiet, beautiful, like lush music, and just a very tight and like quiet story. But then Justin's version is like this loud, percussive, sweaty, much more
Overwhelming.
overwhelming, like aggressive sports movie. But the same dynamic is at play. And I'm
Yeah.
like, huh. It's very like gendered. Um like the guy made the sports movie and the woman made like the intimate like indie drama, and I'm like, of course. Straight couples are interesting.
Yeah,
Anyway.
there's like a one scene in Past Lives when um Nora and Haesung got back for the day, and you could just see Arthur sitting on the couch waiting for them.
Oh,
Is probably I mean that's probably exactly what his like what was in his head, that loud crazy music's just like when is it gonna end?
he was raging. I
Yeah.
know for a fact he was sitting at home fucking seething.
Mm-hmm.
How could you not be? Like,
How could you not?
oh my god, that poor man. Anyway, I'm glad they exorcised their demons about this time period in their lives, and I'm
They're
glad they're still together
expressing their feelings.
through art. Um, which is goals. I think I find being in relationships with creative people usually very like rewarding, and just I feel like there's more to relate to because they understand me better. But also it can get tricky. It can get tricky when your projects overlap. I've never had anything like this go on. And I hope it never does because I can't handle that. Too stressful.
What do you know about the soundtrack musical aspects? Because I know you know some stuff.
I do. So I the first time we watched this movie, I guess I wasn't really paying attention to the music as much. It's very like light and kind of just airy and atmospheric. It's beautiful, but I didn't quite I don't know. There was something about it that didn't quite stick with me, but I remember it being like so pleasant and like familiar. And the second time it was much more apparent to me just throughout the movie. The soundtrack was it sounds like wind chimes to me, and I was so struck by it. I actually paused the movie because I was like, it sounds like wind chimes and like wind like blowing through like the trees, and then every once in a while you get like a hit of percussion. I don't know if you noticed this, and it sounds like a clock ticking. And that was done on purpose. So the music is done by this is extra crazy because I did not know this. And they don't even score movies usually. This was their first
Yeah.
one. But one of my favorite bands of all time, especially like you want to talk college days, like 21-year-old me, Grizzly Bear.
I know a
I
few songs by them.
Oh my god, girl, I fucking love Grizzly Bear. I loved that
That's
band,
so crazy that they
and I looked at the
underscored this.
credits. Yeah. And I looked at the credits and it's just like, oh, Dan so and so, and so it's the drummer Daniel Bear and the singer Daniel Rosen or Rosen, I'm not sure. Um but yeah, the drummer and the lead singer of Grizzly Bear worked on this movie soundtrack together, and the ticking sound was intentional to make it to portray the passage of time through music, which I thought was so beautiful. I never in a million years would have guessed this was Grizzly Bear, but I'm so glad I took like the 30 seconds to just Google. I was like, who's Dan Bear? Like who? Then I was like, oh shit. Of course. Of course. Oh my god. 21-year-old me, Vekatemist. If you know, you know. That's
I
one of my
don't
favorite.
know.
Oh, that's one of my favorite albums of all time. Um I don't know if I spelled it right, but I will put that in the show notes as well. Vekatemis by Grizzly Bear, and then lead it right into the Past Lives soundtrack. It's stunning work to see their growth and how they took like indie rock elements and turned it into just like a beautiful movie score and very stripped down.
What little moments affected you about this movie?
I love this question because I think this is something we added into our show structure later on in season 1, but it's become one of my favorite things because Lindsay and I are both details people. Like, we notice a lot of just
Mm-hmm.
little things and
We're
um
observers.
yeah, that's a good way to put it. We are
Yeah, we're
observant.
observers.
We are.
I love the way you just said, yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
god, did I? I wasn't even trying to. Oh my god, so
yeah.
pretentious. Yeah. Um but yeah, so something that struck me that I also missed the first time that is so clever and just like a great framing device. The structure of this movie, speaking of time, the number 12, like 12 on a clock, is throughout this entire movie. So the movie starts when Haesung and Nora are 12 years old. Then we fast forward another 12 years to them when they're 24, the whole Skype part of the movie. Then we go forward another 12 years to 36 and her life with Arthur when Haesung is back in the picture. So the number 12 um and the clock motif is very, very, I just love that. It can come off as like gimmicky sometimes when filmmakers do all these like cute little tricks and like references, but I thought this one was so, it was done so elegantly, you know.
This
Did you
one's
even
pretty
notice
subtle
this?
too. I no,
Yeah.
did
I
not.
I was like, "Oh, 12. Duh, hours on a clock." And every 12 years we get like a slice of where they are and who they are.
Yeah.
I just think that's beautiful. What about you?
I love movies like this that just are very conversation based. I think right when we first started the podcast and we were talking about what movies we like, I think this is something that I mention all the time.
Yeah.
Just two people on a walk
Yes.
chatting. I
Yes.
eat it up.
Because it's
um,
so revealing usually,
yeah.
you know? Like
And
it's so intimate.
I love awkward silence, and
Mm.
there's so much awkward silence in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
It gets
when what's the saying? When silence speaks louder than words.
I agree. Yeah. There's a lot of moments that are so quiet but so loud throughout this
Yeah,
movie.
the the walk to Haesung's Uber, especially. I feel like they not that they were speechless, but they knew that after this might be the last time that they see each other, and that like I have so much to say, but I for one can't say it. So I'm just gonna look at you.
Ugh. Another kick to the gut. Yeah. I hate it. I hated it. I just like, cuz you know that she's not going to leave Arthur and that's not even the right thing to do, but there's still, I think that like
I'm about to mention Kate again.
yeah, Kate count 2.
Kate, she said this a few times, and every time she says it, it sticks so much with me. But those like short interactions with people that you can't quite seem to get over, it's because of you not getting to experience the potential of what could be.
We
And
talked about this a lot when
mhm,
I was going through a breakup last year. Yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah, it's
Uh-huh.
just you get like one life to experience things, and the things that don't work out when you don't know how they could have gone, it's like what if,
What if
and not getting to see them through is just it's devastating.
it really is? That's yeah, wise words from our dearest, our beloved Kate, who, oh, by the way, sh- Kate, the infamous Kate that we're always yammering about, is going to be on an episode
Oh my
in
gosh,
a month
yes.
from now.
It's gonna be the best episode ever.
Kate is going to be on our Little Women episode. So, we might do something special for that. I don't want to tease it in case it doesn't work out, but we're gonna try some video things for the Little Women episode. That's all I'll say. But yeah, that's such a beautiful way to put it. Kate and because Kate went through like a similar kind of like short-lived romance that, you know, um kind of just ended abruptly and based off of like, oh well, I'm moving, and then I went through the same thing like a year later, uh and we were like commiserating about how like you're constantly imagining how it could have gone because you didn't get to do any of those things together. But there's no saying it would have been better, or that you would have even stayed together, or that you would have even enjoyed those experiences with that person. But it's the not knowing that I think is what Nora is crying about at the end there. She'll never know what it's like to be with him. And that's hard. It's hard. Um yeah, but movies like this, that's definitely your wheelhouse.
Yes.
And I love them as well. I just love feeling like I walk away from a movie really like knowing the characters, or like feeling like I was experiencing something with them.
I think I just love movies that just make you feel touched.
Yeah. This is a very, very touching movie.
Yeah.
And it was like the perfect movie for the two of us specifically to like see together for the first time. Like it just
I know, it's wild. Like we had so much to say,
Yeah.
and it just because so many of the other experiences that we've seen or that we've had seeing movies that just came out have been so poor.
I
And
know. It's a really mixed bag.
the first one we saw, Past Lives, just
Banger.
yeah.
Banger. There's no other way to put it.
Mm-mm.
So what emotions does the story draw out of you, and why, if you had any that we haven't explored yet? How do you feel, Lindsay?
I feel hope.
Ooh.
And I feel hope, and I put / easement. I watching this over and getting to experience Nora and Arthur's relationship, it's just, it feels so healthy, and it feels so like we can be a part of each other's lives, but also be individuals.
Yes.
And like you can go on this extravagant, practically date with this guy you haven't seen in 12 years, and it's okay.
Yeah. I love that he just gave, like you said, gave her the space to go through that. That's super rare. But it did. I think hope is a good emotion to leave it on. It's painful, but at the same time it's kind of like, it's really inspirational to see a woman not like make like the dumb, like, you know, Carrie from Sex and the City decision, you know, someone who's not gonna throw away their lives, throw away their career, throw away her green card over, you know, unexplored feelings that she has for someone from 24 years ago. Like, at the end of the day, she's a practical girly. And I love that Nora stayed grounded, even though that she was questioning at certain points, like, you know, her life with Arthur. She never truly wavered. I don't think she was ever really going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think it would have ever actually been up for debate if she would leave Arthur, because like that was a secure relationship.
Right. And that was one of the other questions I had written down. I was like, we had already talked about whether she made the right choice or not. She obviously did. Then the follow-up question I had to that was there ever a choice? I don't think there was. Like, she was not leaving. She was not leaving Arthur.
I can't remember if I mentioned this earlier, but something that I heard a few times is when you're making one choice, you're actively not choosing another. And
is that a therapy gem?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't ever really think when they saw each other at New York that she ever would be like debating leaving Arthur. I think it was just something that she had to experience just to like fully let go.
Me too. And that reminds me of something that Nora's mother said when Nora and Haesung had their first date when they were 12 years old. And she said to Haesung's mother, I just want to make good memories for her. I just want her to have good memories of her time in Korea and with these people. And I thought that was so beautiful and such a good way to like show up for someone you love is to be in their lives to like the biggest gift you can give people sometimes is good memories, you know?
Yeah.
And just your time more than anything, just time.
And now that I'm an adult, I view seeing mothers on film so differently and knowing like she's her own person, a human just like anyone else, but still being able to like hold such a motherly, mature, like healthy role
Yes.
is so beautiful.
Nora's mom is a queen.
Mm-hmm.
She really, really is just such a solid, like, guiding presence throughout this movie. And we don't even really see her that much, you know, but you feel her.
Yeah. And honestly, I think something I also like to think about is how people end up marrying people similar to their parents and
Uh-huh.
like the secure, mature version of Nora's mom.
Yep.
Like Arthur
Yep.
is that secure, just solid relationship.
Absolutely. She married her like she married someone like her mother. She like very healthy, secure attachment.
Yeah.
But maintaining like her individuality and her her need to like express herself and like you said, explore.
Mm-hmm.
Um and lastly, I just want to ask, do you think that Nora and Arthur were In-Yeon or just convenience and practicality because of the green card, etc.? Like where do you stand on that after seeing this again?
I think they were In-Yeon. Something that was interesting when Nora and Arthur first met, and he was like, "So does that mean that we're In-Yeon?" And she was like, "Not quite." But then,
It's just a pickup line, yeah.
yeah. But then when she was talking to Haesung and she was like, "We are In-Yeon," I thought that was so interesting. I was like, "Well, hold up, because you told Arthur
Yeah.
that that's not what it means."
But 12 years went by. There's 12 years of Arthur showing up for her and being like so solid and supportive that we didn't see. But again, we feel that impact.
Mm-hmm.
Because when Haesung is really like, by the way, another fuckboy moment from him when he's really like kicking it to Nora at the bar
Oh
in
my
Korean
God. Yeah.
in
Oh,
front of her
that
husband.
was nothing. It's like Arthur doesn't know Korean, but he knows parts of it. So it's like he's
He,
probably sitting there hearing bits and pieces of
yeah,
their conversation, probably just suffering.
yeah. I think, and that lends to your choice of Magaro as your favorite performance because, oh my God, you can see it on his face when he's so subtle with it when he is picking up certain words throughout Nora and Haesung's exchange. He's reacting to it, but trying not to
Yeah.
let on that he's reacting. But whenever Haesung would say like, "Oh, your husband this or your husband that," you could see
Mm-hmm.
that Arthur understands that they're talking about him, and he's just sitting there silently.
Yeah. Also, the part where Nora is like, she refers over to Arthur after not speaking to him the whole night, and
Yeah,
she's like, "He's talking about you." And I was like, "Girl,
girl,
have you not caused him enough pain already?"
why would you put it like that? Jesus. The delivery, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was gnarly. But yeah, I love the way that I think like I said, it took her 12 years to look over at Arthur and be like, "No, he is my In-Yeon. Like he is my destiny. He is my fate. You being here or not is not going to change my connection with him." And I think we kind of get to witness that through that sequence, and then of course through the final sequence when Haesung goes back to Korea, and she's like, "No, I actively have chosen you for 12 years, and I'm going to keep doing so." Um, so I think it was a mix for me of like fate and practicality. And I think maybe it started out as a
Yeah.
practical reason, but
Yeah.
over that 12 years of Nora and
But it
Arthur's relationship that
yeah.
we didn't see, um, I think they proved to each other and to Haesung that like, yeah, we're it for each other. We're endgame, you know?
Yeah. I think cuz Nora had so much ambition and has such a good head on her shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Like she wouldn't set up that situation with just anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think over time, her getting to know Arthur, she's like, okay, this is someone that I feel comfortable. I mean, putting myself in such a vulnerable space. Whereas she wasn't entirely willing to do that with Haesung, because although they were like, speaking long distance, and some of it definitely was the convenience and practicality,
Mm-hmm.
but I guess the effort that she still was willing to put in with Arthur.
Yeah, I just posed the question because I was curious where you landed with it too. um, it just feels so realistic to me that
Mm-hmm.
people would have these questions at the end of a trip like that, at the end of a relationship like that. Um, I love that it wasn't shied away from, but it also didn't villainize any of the three of them
Yeah. Yeah,
fully, anyway.
I just, I really like Arthur. Think he's a
Yeah,
stand guy.
he really is. He's a good dude. So yeah, that is Past Lives. This movie is streaming on Netflix right now. I don't know how much longer it will be on Netflix, but as of August, Past Lives is on Netflix. I think before that, it had been streaming on Peacock for a long time. So if you want to watch this, I cannot recommend this movie highly enough.
Yes, please,
This
please
is a
watch this
5-star
movie.
movie.
Yep,
Yeah,
it is.
this is a dual 5 stars from the both of us. And what other works would you suggest for people who are looking to stay in this genre?
Oh, I'm so excited about this because, like, these types of movies are up my alley so much. Number one, The Lake House. Have you seen it?
I actually haven't. This is the Sandra Keanu.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I already know what happens. Someone ruined it for me, so I was like,
Yeah,
it got
that's
spoiled for me.
upsetting.
I know, fucking drunk people. I think when I was bartending, someone was talking about it, and I was like, damn it, I haven't seen this movie. You just ruined it. But I have been meaning to check it out. What else you got?
Wicker Park.
This is
I
a
watched,
great pull by you.
yes,
This is
thank you.
real
Thank you.
deep early 2000s. Like, this is like, I was telling Lindsay, this is like the B-side, the like slightly cool girl Garden State.
Mm.
And I think they came out the same year even. So
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love this movie. I used to watch it so much when I was younger, and it felt like no one on the planet knew about it, but except me. Yeah, love
Hi,
that
it's
movie.
me.
I know, it's so crazy. I didn't even
I
know that you knew Wicker Park.
I love this movie, and I haven't seen it since I was like whenever it came out, since I was like 16 or whatever, but I owned this soundtrack on CD. I might still own this soundtrack actually. I'll have to check my little CD booklet if I can find it. And I used to listen to this soundtrack all the time. That's how I learned about Mum, and I think The National is on there. Um Hold on. Let me pull it up actually so I don't sound dumb. This soundtrack fucking rules. This is how I learned about The Stills, Snow Patrol, Broken Social Scene. I already knew about Mazzy Star, but there's an amazing Mazzy Star song on the soundtrack. Um, and Stereophonics. Just, oh my god, this soundtrack fucking rules. It is like the kind of cooler B-side to the Garden State
So
soundtrack.
indie.
Very indie. I bet you can't even get a lot of these songs anymore. The Postal Service, oh my god, the Shins, this Mogwai. I cannot recommend Wicker Park enough. Movie, I mean, actually I take that back. I'm not gonna recommend Wicker Park that much because I don't know if it's good or not. I haven't seen it in 20 years.
Yeah, it's
The
been a
soundtrack,
while.
banger. Actually, I'm probably gonna put the soundtrack in the show notes as well. Go on. What else do you have for us?
This one is a little random, but uh I couldn't even remember the name of it. I had to find it, but The Adjustment Bureau with Matt Damon and Emily Blunt. Have you seen that?
I have not seen this one.
It's kind of actiony,
Okay.
but
He's like a spy or something in it, right?
honestly, I
Or
can't even
military.
remember. Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just another kind of like a good watch on just time and place.
Okay. Is it
And
does it have like a romantic
yes, yeah,
angle? Okay.
time, place, romance.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty good. It's one of those movies that when I think about it, I'm like, oh, that's a really good movie.
I should check that out. Speaking of Emily Blunt, I just saw Edge of Tomorrow for the first time. Um,
Oh,
which I thought was pretty sick. I'm very on and off with her, but I really, really enjoyed her and Tom Cruise together in Edge of Tomorrow. So shouts to Emily Blunt. You're okay, I guess.
uh,
And what
and
about your last one?
my last recommendation, this is by far has been one of my favorite movies ever since I first saw it. Vanilla Sky
Mm-hmm.
with Tom Cruise and Penelope Cruz. Which I did not know, but there's two versions of this movie. In both versions, Penelope Cruz plays the lead girl, which is so funny to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually was gonna recommend the Spanish version, Abre los Ojos. I saw Lindsay convinced me to watch Vanilla Sky. It was just one of those movies I had missed. And again, I already knew the twist before I saw it. So or no, I didn't know the twist, but I had an idea of what it was gonna be. Um and I guessed correctly. But still definitely worth checking out. I think is one of Tom Cruise's like better performances.
Yeah.
It's and I thought him and I thought him and Penelope Cruz had amazing chemistry, and I know they were dating in real life at the time, but it was just so palpable. And I like that Cameron Crowe, after Almost Famous, and Jerry Maguire, tried to do something different. You know, tried to do sci-fi.
Yeah, this movie is really cool.
Yeah,
Really, really cool.
and again, it has a to relate it to past lives, a lot of kind of correlation with memories and like emotional memories and attachment to people that you cross paths with throughout your life. Great recommendations.
And a not quite a love triangle, but
a diet love triangle for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say so. There's some there's some triangulation happening with
Also,
old Miss Cameron Diaz.
Oh yes, and Penelope Cruz, like the angel goddess that she is, looks so beautiful.
Oh my god.
And I think I truly would like obsess over her character when I was younger because she's just phenomenal.
Yeah, I don't blame you. We're all obsessed with Penelope Cruz. She's still so gorgeous. So for my recommendations, I went more with the I guess the missed connection angle, the, you know, ships in the night kind of romance, quote unquote. So for my first recommendation, David Lean's Brief Encounter. Have you seen this one?
Mm-mm.
I watched this with Kate. Greta Gerwig had a little series on the Criterion Channel a few years back, around the time that Barbie had come out. And it was like a 30-40 minute interview basically, where she was just talking about movies that meant a lot to her, and that had kind of inspired her to become a filmmaker. And I think one of the first ones she mentioned was Brief Encounter. And Kate and I ran to the Criterion Channel and fired it up. And it's one of the like most devastatingly beautiful movies I've ever seen.
Oh, I'll
It's
have
the
to watch
same.
that soon then.
Oh my God. It's from, hold on, what year is it? I
I
should look
might
that
have to
up.
watch that tonight. I was like, whenever we record after I'm done, I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I need to watch a movie right now.
Yeah, I feel the same way. This movie is from 1945. So this came out during World War II, and it's about two people in England who meet at a man and a woman. I believe they're both married, and they meet at a train station as just like commuters, just like riding the train together, and they, oh my God, they like develop this like very close friendship that you're like teetering on romantic or not, and that's all I'll say. Um, it's basically like a question they have to reckon with at a certain point where they're like, "Are we gonna do this or not? Like, what are you thinking? Should we just run away together? Like, what are you feeling?"
Wow.
And it's so beautiful.
1945?
1945. The same man who made Lawrence of Arabia and Bridge over the River Kwai did A Brief Encounter, and I think it just, once you see it you'll understand, but it's very past lives coded, and I'm sure anyone who's made a movie in this genre, whether it be and my next recommendation, whether it be Before Sunrise,
Yeah, that's a good
um
one.
or Before Sunrise, or Past Lives, or any Eternal Sunshine, I feel like they all owe a lot to Brief Encounter. So, as I said, Eternal Sunshine, of course. I think that came out the same year as Wicker Park as well. What was in the air in like 03, 04? Uh, I was like 15, 16 when I saw all of these movies, and it's just like ripped me apart. Um, the what's it called? I think I've recommended this before, but I'm going to do it again anyway because I don't care. Martin Scorsese's The Age of Innocence. Um, uh, Costume drama love triangle: Winona Ryder, Daniel Day-Lewis, Michelle
Ooh,
Pfeiffer.
I need to watch this. Ooh, oh my
Oh
God, it's
my
on
God.
Netflix right now.
You have to watch The Age of Innocence. I'm so serious. Um, yeah. I did
I
not know that was on Netflix. That movie is never streaming. I had to rent it, I think, when I watched it the first time, and now I own it on Criterion. Um, because I couldn't stream it anywhere.
There's something about Michelle Pfeiffer. The one song that talks about her, I get it. It's,
I get it.
there's something about her beauty that just is so ethereal.
Yeah, she has the most stunning cheekbones of all time. She was my first crush. Michelle Pfeiffer, sorry, Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman
Oh my
was,
God. Also, the other Catwoman being Halle Berry.
oh my God,
Amazing.
bisexual awakening. Yeah, I've been in love with that woman my whole life. So definitely The Age of Innocence. As we've discussed in depth, Challengers, written by Celine Song's husband. If you haven't seen it, I'm sure most of you have by now, but if you haven't, definitely fire up Challengers. I'd say after past lives as like maybe a slight palate cleanse, because they're just so different tonally. One's very quiet, one's very loud. But they're very connected. And my last recommendation is Abre los Ojos, which is the Spanish version of Lindsay's recommendation,
It's the
Vanilla
original
Sky.
version, too.
Yes, it's
Just
the
so
original
that's
version.
said.
True, true,
It's
true.
the original version.
Yes. And that came out in 1997. Um, and it's literally the same plot as Vanilla Sky. Cameron Crowe basically did like a word for word remake, which is interesting. And that's directed by Alejandro Amenabar, I believe is how you say that. Um, and then Crowe remade this movie like 4 years later, which is awkward, but yeah. And I just wanted to show you.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, the Spanish version.
Mm-hmm. That's Brief Encounter.
Oh my gosh.
And then that's Age of Innocence.
Of course you have both of them.
I'm a yearner, baby. I always be yearning.
I need you to watch The Lake House, even though it's spoiled.
I'll definitely check it out. I'll watch it for sure. So, what are we doing for our next episode?
Well, we're going to have a little bonus episode come out for Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, we're doing a little mini episode.
Yeah, mini episode. Then we're going to have our combo Priscilla and Elvis episode.
For a mega episode, we're going mini then mega. So 1 week from today will be our little Raiders of the Lost Ark bonus episode, and then a week after that, so 2 weeks from now, will be Sofia Coppola's Priscilla versus Baz Luhrmann, who did Moulin Rouge and the Leonardo DiCaprio Great Gatsby.
Interesting. And he did Romeo and Juliet.
And Romeo and Juliet, yes.
Very interesting.
So he's worked with Leo a few times. But yeah, so those are the next few movies we're doing. Thank you for listening. Welcome back. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening to us.
So glad to be sitting in this studio with you again.
I know. Oh man, those 3 months went by fast. And where can people keep up with us when we're not yapping online?
You can email us at postfilmclaritypod@gmail.com, and you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at postfilmclaritypod. All of our episodes are closed captioned on YouTube.
They are indeed. And for the recommendations that we just threw out at you, there will be a Letterboxd list up. So be sure to follow us on Letterboxd at postfilmclarity. We make a list for every episode that has all of our recommendations and referenced work from the show. So please give us a follow at postfilmclarity on Letterboxd. Bye, honeys.